This story is entitled The Family Scarecrow, written by Scare Review Blog. There is an old, beaten-up scarecrow in the corner of my family's barn. The scarecrow has dark eyes, frayed sleeves, and a crooked hat atop its head. As a kid, I avoided it as its stitched eyes peered out from the dark corners of the barn into the field where my siblings and I played. The scarecrow had been in that dusty corner of the barn as long as I can remember. After I took over the family farm, my dad and I decided to clean out the old barn, and my first mission was to get rid of that creepy scarecrow. I picked up the old humanoid pile of straw and lugged it to the trash can. The next morning, I went back into the barn to continue cleaning it out. I opened the door and glanced at the corner where the scarecrow was slumped in that same spot it had been sitting in for decades. I noticed its face had altered a bit. The scarecrow was smirking at me with a glint in its eye, as if it was thinking,
"You thought you could get rid of me, huh?"
Maybe my dad brought it back into the barn, I thought. I tossed the scarecrow into the garbage again. The next day, I woke up to continue our work in the barn. I grabbed my coffee and walked out the back door of the house, but stopped when I saw something in the corner of my eye. The scarecrow was sitting on the back porch swing facing the house. I ran out to the barn where my dad was already cleaning. "Dad, are you trying to prank me?" I said. "Why did you move the scarecrow?" He looked over to the corner of the barn where the scarecrow normally sits, then looked back at me.
"I didn't move it,"
he said and shrugged.
"Must have a mind of its own."
That so-called mind of its own was too much for me to handle. I am not going to deal with some possessed Annabelle-esque scarecrow. I walked back up to the porch where the scarecrow was sitting on the swing, swaying slightly in the wind. Screw this scarecrow, I thought. I took it to our fire pit, poured lighter fluid on it, and threw a match on the top. The scarecrow burst into flames. As I watched the straw burn, I saw that smirk and dark eyes disintegrate in the fire. And that's that, I thought. The next day, I woke up ready to finish up the barn. I sat up in bed, and in the corner of my bedroom was the scarecrow. Not a burn on it. It had an even larger smile on its face, and its deep obsidian eyes were peering at me from that corner. "Must have a mind of its own," I muttered.